Grade 12s, we are now at question 6.2, which is our second HTML question. Remember this type of question, very few instructions is given. It relies on our ability to analyze a screenshot and have a look in the screenshot what needs to be changed. There are a few things to take note of, which we will go through step by step. All right, so the question says, open the incomplete 6.2 Bthreads webpage in your web browser and Notepad++. So there is 6.2. I'm going to open that in Notepad++, and I am going to open that in my web browser as well. Now we have a look in the question paper. So let's take note of the images first. So if we can look at this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images. But if we have a look at our example, we have 3 images. So there's a problem with the second image, and there is a problem with the fourth image. So let's go have a look. So the second image, there is a problem. So the name of the image is climate change. We have the width and we have the height. But what is missing from this one, which is in the other ones, you can see the image source, the SRC is missing. So we are going to add image SRC. So if we save that and we go across and we refresh, our second image is now visible. Then our fourth image, there is a problem with the fourth image. So if we go look, this is image 1, 2, 3, 4. You will see that this image is not being displayed currently. It has to show the alternative text, but there's no alternative text. But what is the issue with this image? What is missing? Let's see. So all the images have image, they have source, they have the name. But what is missing? The extension is missing from the fourth image. So how do we know invasive plant? What file extension is that? So we need to go to our folder. We need to find invasive plant, and the type of image or the image extension is a JPEG file. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to add the .jpeg. If we save this and we go across and we refresh, now all 5 of my images are displayed properly. The next question, let's see. Take note of the white background color of the table. If we look at ours, our background is not gray. It is a white color. Let's just make sure what the question says. Take note of the white background color. Ours is not white. We can see we have a background color there. So all I need to do in this case is I need to remove the background color from the body. If I do that and I refresh, you will see the background color now changes to white. Remember, white is the default color. We do not have to add a color for white. Then the merged cells. If we look at this screenshot, you can see the heading, the big threads to our little helpers have been merged across all the columns. Let's start with that one now. How many columns has it been merged? This is column number 1. This is column number 2. This is column number 3. And this is column number 4. So the heading has been merged across all 4 columns. So if we have a look then, where is my heading? Here is my heading. The first row, the big ones, there is TH. You can see they even added a little space there for you, which tells you that is where you have to add the coding to correct this, the big threads to our little helpers. So if we have a look at our tag sheet, what is the tag that we can use in order for us to merge these cells? So let's have a look if we can find that. So if we have a look here, we can see here is a col span, and there is a row span. And if we look at ours, it is columns that we need to merge. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Col span is the tag that we are going to use, and the attribute, the attribute is col span that we are going to use. So th col span, and we said how many columns must it go? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we say col span 4. And if we save this and we go across and we refresh, we can see our heading now spans across all 4 columns of this table. Then there is another one. Let's just go back to the example. We can see that our link has to merge across a few rows. So the rows is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So 5 rows that it needs to span across. This is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, and row 5. So if we look at our coding, we will see here is TD, for that one, industrial, there's already a row span that has been added, but it has only been spanned across 2. So if we look at ours, we can see it only spans across row 1 and row 2, whereas it has to span across row 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this row span needs to change to 5. Remember, we use col span for columns, left to right, and we use row span for rows from the top to the bottom. So if we save this and we go to our web browser and we refresh, we can now see that this link merges across all 5 rows. Right, back to the question. The last question for HTML, the last part is the link. So we can see here on the right hand side, we have a link that says, click to see 10 ways to save the bees. So if we look at our link here, we can see the web address has already been added, but there are no tags. There is an attribute, but the attribute appears in black, not in red, because we did not add the tags yet. So what is the tag that we use for a link? So the tag is an open tag A, but remember, at the end of the link, we just need to add that little bracket to make sure this is my entire open tag. So A is the tag, and href with the name of the web address is then my attribute. And then just remember, before we add anything else, we have to close our tag for the link. Now, if I save and I go to my web browser, you will see that nothing appears there. Although my link is there, there is actually no text. That click to see 10 ways to save the bees is missing. So that is the text that I need to go and add, which I'm going to click on to open this link. So between the open tag A and the closing tag A is where we are going to add the text. Click to see 10 ways to save the bees. So here we add click to see the 10 way to see 10 ways to save the bees. So links, we have our open tag A, closing tag A. Our attribute is href, and the text that we have to click on, which comes between the open tag and the close tag, is click to see ways to save the bee. So if we save this and we go to our web browser and we refresh, there we can now see our link appears. I hope that makes sense. Grade 12s, then that is the end of the question. Save and close the 6_2b threads file. So we can save this one, which we already have. We can close it, and we can close our web browser as well. We have one question left. Our last video will then be about question 7, the general question.